Not unless you're planning to stay all day, Neema answered with a smile. Daniel laughed. Depends. Is the company good? 5 minutes became an hour. 1 hour became several dates. In the beautiful city of Arusha, Tanzania, there lived a 29-year-old young woman named Neema. She was confident, hardworking, and fiercely independent. She owned a small interior design business and had one rule she never compromised on. If a man enters my life, she often told her best friend, he must respect who I am. I won't shrink myself for anybody. Her best friend Lena laughed every time she heard those words. Neema, one day you'll meet someone just as stubborn as you. Good, Neema would reply. Then we'll understand each other. Unknown to her, life was preparing a surprise. Across town lived Daniel, 32 years old, an architect who believed relationships should be partnerships. I don't want someone who depends on me for everything, Daniel often said. I want a teammate. One Saturday afternoon, Neema entered a cafe to escape the rain. The place was crowded except for one empty seat. Excuse me, Daniel asked politely, holding a cup of coffee. Is this seat taken? Not unless you're planning to stay all day, Neema answered with a smile. Daniel laughed. Depends. Is the company good? 5 minutes became an hour. 1 hour became several dates. And on the third date, when the bill arrived, Daniel reached for it. I'll handle this, he said. Neema stopped him. No, we'll split it. You sure? Very sure. Daniel smiled. For the first time, he had met a woman who insisted on paying her own share. Months passed. They laughed together, prayed together, dreamed together. And one evening, under the stars, Daniel proposed. Neema said yes. Everything was perfect. At least, that's what they thought. Because wedding planning had a way of exposing things nobody noticed before. They agreed to share all the expenses equally. Venue, half and half. Food, half and half. Photography, half and half. Everything sounded wonderful, until one evening. How many guests are coming from your side? Daniel asked. 35, Neema answered. Daniel frowned. I have 33. So why are you bringing 2 extra people? Neema stared at him. Daniel, are you counting human beings now? We agreed on equality. Lena nearly choked with laughter when Neema told her, You people are serious. We just want fairness, Neema insisted. But things became worse. At the decoration shop, Neema fell in love with beautiful flowers. Daniel looked at the price tag. Too expensive. She picked another. Still expensive. Another. Also expensive. Finally, Neema crossed her arms. Why did you come if you're going to reject everything? I'm trying to save money, and I'm trying to enjoy my wedding. They left the shop in silence. Days later, they visited an event planner. The woman explained the lighting arrangement. Daniel blinked. 200,000 shillings for lights. It creates atmosphere, the planner explained. Daniel shook his head. Atmosphere is expensive. Neema covered her face in embarrassment. On their way home, she finally exploded. Daniel, do you always have to prove a point? And do you always have to spend money? He fired back. You embarrassed me today. I'm protecting our future. No, you're turning our wedding into a business report. Neither spoke again. That night, Neema sat alone. For the first time since their engagement, fear entered her heart. Were they making a mistake? Meanwhile, Daniel couldn't sleep. He remembered how happy they were when they first met, how they laughed, how they respected each other. And suddenly, he realized something. Love wasn't about winning arguments. The next morning, he showed up at Neema's office carrying coffee. She looked surprised. I thought you were still angry. I was, Daniel admitted, but I was also wrong. Neema raised an eyebrow. You were? He smiled. Don't enjoy this too much. Both laughed. Daniel sat beside her. Maybe we've been trying so hard to make everything 50-50 that we forgot something. What? We aren't competitors. Neema became quiet. We said partnership, she whispered. Exactly. Partnership doesn't mean keeping score. She smiled. And sometimes one person gives more. And another time, the other person gives more. They both laughed. So, Daniel said, drumming? Truce. Truce. And no more counting guests. Neema burst into laughter. And no more treating flowers like government contracts. Daniel laughed too. A few weeks later, Surrounded by family and friends, they exchanged vows. Not because they had figured everything out, not because they agreed on every little thing, but because they had learned something more important. Marriage wasn't about 50-50. It was about 100% commitment from both people. And years later, whenever people asked them the secret behind their happy marriage, Daniel would smile and say, "We stopped trying to win." And Neema would laugh and add, "And we stopped counting guests." Because sometimes, love isn't about equality. It's about grace. And grace keeps no score.